So who has kids in public school or has had kids in public school? Everybody, right? Who drives across state lines to purchase a lottery ticket? Over half. Did you know that Mississippi ranks last nationally in education? Did you know that Mississippi is only one of 4 states that does not have a state lottery? After having kids in public schools myself in different school districts and also being in school myself, I have seen firsthand the lack of resources in some school districts and in other school districts what proper funding can do for resources for schools. So we need to legalize a lottery in the state of Mississippi to fund needed improvements in our education system. In Education Week's Quality Counts report, they have Mississippi ranked last in overall education. According to the report, Mississippi ranks last in 4th grade math, with an average of 26.1% being proficient in the NAEP assessment test, with the national average being 41.3%. The report also has Mississippi ranked last in 4th grade reading, with a 21.3% score on the assessment test compared to a 34% nationally. They also have the state ranked last in students with high advanced placement tests in 2012, with only 3.9% scoring a 3 or higher out of 5. According to an article, Quality Counts in Local Schools, that was put out in the Starkville Daily News back in January of 2015, the state leaders in Mississippi has not fully funded the state's education since 2008 under a formula that the legislature passed back in 1997. Since implementing the Mississippi Adequate Education Program, the legislature has only funded education under its formula twice since 2008. Since 2008, Mississippi has a shortfall of $1.5 billion in education. So Mississippi is on the bottom of every list, and the biggest reason for this is the lack of funding by the state government. And now that we understand that we have or where Mississippi ranks in education, we'll talk about a solution. We need to legalize a lottery in Mississippi. Would a state lottery help, you ask? It would help reduce the amount of tax increases that the government uses for funding. Every state surrounding Mississippi, with the exception of Alabama, has a state lottery. So that's Mississippi money going to other states. Each state has its own formula on how they divvy out the money collected from lotteries. According to the North American Association of State Provincial Lotteries, states pocketed a total of $19.4 billion in 2012. Roughly $40 billion was paid out to winners. $4 billion went to the retailers who sold the tickets. And again, 19.4 went back to the state. We need to write or call our legislatures and tell them that they need to legalize a lottery in Mississippi. So we've learned that Mississippi ranks last in education and how a lottery can bring in money to the state. So now we'll discuss the benefits of funding a lottery, or funding education with a lottery. So almost $20 billion can vastly improve Mississippi's education. The money could be used to build more schools, which would help with overcrowding. Money could also be used to provide for upgrades for current schools that would enhance the learning environment. We could give teachers raises and also hire more teachers. This would promote the teaching profession, and hopefully more people would want to be teachers. This would allow for more one-on-one with students who have difficulties learning and need that one-on-one time. And it could also help buy additional resources for classrooms that don't have it, such as Promethean boards, online systems for them doing homework, additional books. I know my daughter's school, they don't have enough books to go around at the beginning of the school year. And one thing that helps is they have one set of books for the classroom and one set that they take home for homework. That way they don't have to worry about taking books back and forth and leave their books at home or leave their books at school when they should be doing homework. So the funding would help provide those sorts of resources. So as a result, it would give our youth the tools and resources that they need to learn and grow and improve the level of education in this great state. So in conclusion, we have learned that we have a $1.5 billion shortfall in education. We've learned that each state makes roughly $19.4 billion in lottery sales. We need to write or call our local representatives and tell them that we need them to amend the Constitution to allow for a lottery in Mississippi. Because legalizing a lottery in this state would provide funding needed to improve the education system.